I've spent the last few days going through tons of paperwork, trying to figure out who's getting rich off the war in Ukraine, and how are they spending all of their profits. And I figured it out. Let's get into this. If we just look back 1 month, we see multiple governments giving billions of dollars to the U.S. defense industry to supply weapons to Ukraine.
We have supplied the Ukrainian military with equipment to help them defend themselves.
You hear a lot of talk about the need for Stinger missiles and Javelin anti-tank missiles. So who makes these? Well, Raytheon makes the Stinger missiles that have been highly requested. And Lockheed Martin makes the Javelin anti-tank missiles. Raytheon and Lockheed Martin are two of the biggest defense companies in the world. These companies are already about to take in billions of dollars in revenue from this war alone, not to mention the other billions of dollars they've already made this year. And if this war even worsens just a little bit, these companies will be flooded with huge amounts of cash. So the question must be asked, how will the defense industry use the billions of dollars that they just received? I had to look at the past in order to figure out what they would do in the future. If we just scroll back time and look at the Afghanistan war, we see that in early 2000, the CEO of Lockheed Martin was making about $2 or $3 million a year from his salary and his bonus. But by 2007, as that war had continued on and after the US government had sent Lockheed Martin billions of dollars, the CEO's income went from around $2 or $3 million to over $30 million a year. Plus, during that same time frame, the company's dividend went up over 400%. As the government continued to sign these multi-billion-dollar government defense contracts. So the shareholders were getting rich, and the executives were getting rich. But if this war in Ukraine continues or gets worsened, the same thing that happened in the past will happen again. From an investment standpoint, yes, this stock's going to skyrocket if this war continues on. And Wall Street knows this. That's why we saw these two U.S. companies' stocks skyrocket over the last year. I mean, Lockheed Martin stock jumped up 28% this year, and Raytheon stock jumped up 18% this year. Now that's compared to the S&P 500, which has dropped 5% this year. So they're definitely outperforming, and it makes sense. There's a war, and they make weapons.